So day 2 of pause and reset. Today we're going to be thinking about grounding practices. Yesterday we looked specifically at breath work, how we can use deep regulated breathing to sort of stimulate the central nervous system and bring it more into that rest and digest, so it's in a much more calm state, so it's not in that kind of fight or flight. And today we're going to look at grounding practices. Now, breath work is actually a type of grounding practice, but before we get into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about what actually a grounding practice is, because it's one of those things that kind of gets thrown around and it can sound a little bit yoga teacher, kind of a grounding practice. What it literally means is any sort of practice, any sort of technique that brings you back to your present moment. So when you start to get that spiral, that anxiety, that overwhelm feeling, like everything starts to pile on top, it is a practice that allows you to pause, come back to either things that you can hear, things that you can feel, things that you can see, something that you can control that is in your present moment. And that is what your grounding practice is. So breath work works for that because it means that you're concentrating on your breathing in that exact moment. So you're thinking about just your breathing. You're not thinking about anything else. So breath work is a grounding practice. Today we're going to look at a body scan practice. And I always think as well that even if you're not sure if something is a grounding practice or not, after I've done something and I feel really grounded, that usually means I feel really settled, really stable, really calm, just like I've sort of settled the waters a little bit. So you can take this anywhere you like, comfortably sitting, probably not in the car, probably not a great one to do if you're driving. If you find that driving triggers your anxiety or makes you feel overwhelmed, then let me know and I'll give you a slightly different practice. But this one, sitting comfortably, as I said yesterday, maybe sitting with your back up against the wall so you don't have to work so hard. You can do this laying in bed, literally anywhere, somewhere that you are comfortable. And I want you to bring, if you can, your hands to rest just lightly in your lap. We're going to start with those 3 big deep breaths that we used yesterday. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. And then I want you to sigh it out through your mouth. The sigh pressing that big reset button in the body. And again, breathing in through the nose. Sighing out through the mouth, paying particular attention to your shoulders. Letting your shoulders relax, maybe slide away from the ears a little bit. One more breath, just like that. Breathing in, feel it come all the way in through the nose. And then sigh it out through the mouth. And then if you're comfortable, I want you to keep your eyes closed. If you prefer to work with your eyes open, you're just going to softly focus in front of you. And then I want you to take all of your attention, all of your awareness to the very crown of your head. Notice how the crown of your head is feeling. Just notice every little detail about the crown of your head that you can. And then you're going to slowly slide your awareness down to that space just between your eyebrows. Notice if your brow is furrowed or tense or tight, and see if next time that you breathe out, you can just smooth that brow. Smooth the forehead, soften the brow, relax. Take your attention down to the muscles around the eyes. Again, softening them. As you breathe out, everything feels like it just softens and relaxes a little. Notice the muscles of the cheeks, the jaw. Are you inadvertently clenching your jaw? Can you separate the teeth a little? Maybe even allow the tongue to drop from the roof of the mouth. Notice how much more relaxed the face is feeling. Slowly bringing your attention, your awareness down now to that little hollow at the base of your throat, just that notch in the collarbone. Slide your attention all the way out towards your left shoulder. As you breathe out, relax that left shoulder, let it slide away from the ear. Let the left arm rest heavy, elbow relaxed, wrist relaxed. Taking your attention all the way down to the hand and notice the tips of the fingers. The thumb, the first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. The whole of the left hand. Slowly bring your attention all the way back up that left arm to, again, that little hollow at the base of the throat, that notch in the collarbone. Pause for a breath. And then start to take your attention out through the other side. Notice the right shoulder, relax the right shoulder. Let the right arm rest heavy, elbow, wrist. Right the way down to the hand. Notice the tip of the right thumb, the tips of the right fingers. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your attention back up and into that hollow at the base of the throat once more. Take a breath. Maybe sigh it out. Begin to notice the feeling at the middle of the chest. That gentle rise and fall of the breath. Take the attention down to the abdomen. We talked yesterday about belly breathing. Can you feel the breath moving in and out? Here, you can bring your hands to the tummy if you need that extra connection. Breathing in and out for just about 3 breaths here, and really notice the contact if you've brought your hands to your tummy. Take 1 more breath here, really noticing how it feels. And you can leave the hands there or drop them back down into the lap. Take your attention right the way down into the hips, into the knees, right the way down towards the ankles and the feet, noticing the sensation at the tips of the toes. Let the legs rest, any effort held, any unnecessary tension, gently relaxing out. And then slowly wrapping this up by bringing your attention to the very tip of your tailbone. Use your mind's eye to imagine the very tip of your tailbone, deep in the pelvis. And then slowly, as though you were climbing a ladder, I want you to start to take your attention up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Imagining the bones, the discs in between, that gentle sweeping curve of the spine as it moves up the length of the body. Maybe as you're noticing it, your posture starts to change. You start to sit a little taller. Pause briefly at the back of the shoulders. Notice the sensation of the breath here and see if you can relax. Relax the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Again, creating that space between the ears and the shoulders. And then carrying your journey back up through the back of the neck, right the way to the back of the head. And then back up to the crown of your head. And then we're going to take 3 more breaths here, focusing on breathing in, making yourself just a little bit taller. Breathing out, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. Feeling calm and steady. 2 more breaths in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And 1 more. If you are sitting, I want you to think about taking your hands down to either side, whether you can touch the floor or the sofa or something beneath you. Just feel that connection to the ground, that solidity, that stability underneath you. And then the next time that we breathe in, we're going to stretch the arms all the way up above the head, maybe blinking the eyes open, interlacing the fingers, stretch. And then exhale, bring the hands all the way back down and have a little flex and a wiggle through your shoulders. As I said, blinking the eyes open if they were closed. And before you rush off into the rest of your day, I want you to notice how you feel. That really simple grounding practice, that scan out through your body. The more that you practice this, the more you will start to become aware of the areas of your body that you inadvertently hold tension. Maybe you scrunch your shoulders up to your ears. Maybe you clench your jaw. Maybe you have that kind of familiar knot of tension that sits in the abdomen. Working with this practice, combining it with a little bit of breath work and allowing the exhalation to soften, to create space and to just allow you to settle. That's your grounding practice for today.